So Interazzo is like an unplanned baby.
Should I go for modular or should I get a carpenter to do it?
That's a perfect question, Swati.
The biggest myth that people have about Häfele.
Expensive.
In one line, what is your dream for Interazzo in the next 5 years?
500 plus employees.
Hello and welcome to this podcast where design meets insights. I'm Swati Madgaonkar, the founder of Kintellect Partners, which is a recruitment firm that focuses on hiring for AI startups. But today, I'm here as a recent homeowner who's gone through the journey of setting up her own home and seeing the fruits of it. Today with me, I have the founder of Interazzo, Himanshu Arora, and also the OEM head of Häfele, Mr. Aditya Shankar. So here are two people who are defining how India is looking at the change in the interior industry. So Aditya, let's start with you. How did Häfele's journey evolve from being a hardware brand to a complete interior solution provider?
So, Swati, how it began was, Häfele's evolution in India from a hardware-centric brand to a complete interior services provider was a combination of multiple factors, including a strategic shift in product portfolio, a penchant for customer centricity, and obviously capitalizing on the current market trends. This evolution encompassed expanding the current product portfolio beyond traditional hardware to include kitchen solutions, lighting, surfaces, small and built-in appliances as well. Okay. All while taking care of quality, service and price. Let me also shed some light on the macroeconomic factors which actuated this change and evolution. And perhaps I would try to link it with some examples for our viewers. Sure. The first and most prominent, which was very much evident, was changing consumer preferences.
Right.
Today, Indians are increasingly looking towards cohesive and functional living spaces. What I mean by that is, as the urban homes are getting more compact, value per inch of space matters.
Right.
So optimization matters. So today's storage solutions or perhaps living solutions are becoming smarter so that we can optimize space. Give an example, we have something called as Aladino bed fittings, right? Which can be towed away towards one side of the room and the whole space becomes functional for children to play, or you can do something around that particular space. So that becomes more functional, more enjoyable, and you can actually use the space more smartly. So that is one example that I would like to talk about in the changing
I didn't imagine that I would see Häfele in a kid's bedroom. I was only thinking about kitchen so far.
True, and that's where the Häfele insights comes into picture, because we would love to be closer to our customers, to our market, and we listen very intently for any trends, fads, and we develop those insights by doing dipsticks and voice of customers, and that reflects into our products.
Fantastic. That makes a lot of sense in terms of not sticking to only a small segment. You're looking at the whole the whole area that is required to be where there is more innovation that is required inside the home. So coming to you, Himanshu, Interazzo has received 4 Shrestha Awards and 1 Sarv Shrestha Award in the last few years from Häfele. How do you position Interazzo as a brand today in the interiors industry?
First of all, I would like to give a little background of Interazzo. So Interazzo is like an unplanned baby. Okay, so we never thought that I'll be starting a company in this domain. I had a failed startup in 2012 when I was working as a software developer. So that didn't go well. I joined back again into the software industry. And after a few years, when I did my first house, that interior didn't come up well.
Okay.
And that's where the Interazzo idea came up. I just took 2 days and built a website, put it on a social media platform, got an order in 15 days, left the job, started this, and registered a company.
That's where it all started. So it started enough like.
Now coming back to your point, Swati, where do we position Interazzo? So Interazzo is currently operating in Bangalore and Hyderabad. We position it as very premium and luxury interior design company. In Bangalore itself, currently we have 2,000 plus companies. I'm not talking about contractors over here.
Right.
And in Hyderabad, we have 500 plus companies. Okay, but we consider ourselves under top 10 categories. Okay, now why do we consider that? Right, we consider it because, first of all, right from the sales, from design, from manufacturing, from installation, everything is in-house.
Right.
Okay, and we are handling currently at the moment 80 plus projects, okay, which is combined of design and execution, which is not a small scale for a company of size
course.
like us, because we are completely bootstrapped. We have not taken any external funding till to date, and we are growing with our customers' money, whatever they pay us, and we, whatever profit we get out of it, we put it back again to the company to make it big. And that's how we have grown in the last 10 years, and we will continue doing the same.
That's a really fantastic journey and the perfect way to go through. I hope that you see a much bigger scale going forward. Now, moving on to the next question, right? So if I think about my kitchen or my grandmother's kitchen or my mother's kitchen, the biggest difference or debate is, should I go for modular or should I get a carpenter to do it? So being the expert in this area, could you just elaborate on the pros and cons of both sides, or what should one go for?
That's a perfect question, Swati. Like when a client has to get his interiors done, right? The first thing what comes to his mind, should I go in a modular way? Should I go in a carpentry way? The another question what he gets in his mind, if I go in a modular way, will I get the same material what I am being committed, what has been written in the quotation? Because he will not be available all the time in the factory, right?
Right.
So at Interazzo, we believe in very ethical, very transparent business. We don't work on any discount policies or anything across the year. So what we commit on paper, we deliver with the same 100% material to our clients. Anytime they can come, they can walk in without even telling us to our factory and check what we are manufacturing. Now, I'll tell you what is the capability of Interazzo in terms of manufacturing, right? So we have 55,000 square feet of factory where we can manufacture 40 projects a month, and that's not a small scale. Okay, yeah. So now how this manufacturing happens? So this is completely automated manufacturing. And start like once client closes the design, those CAD drawings goes into the production team, and where we have mechanical engineers who convert those drawings into CAD/CAM drawings, and those CAD/CAM drawings conversion happens with a German software called IMOS.
Okay.
Once that goes to the machine, to our shop floor, our factory manager put those drawings into the machines through via LAN or through via pen drive. Once it is into the machine, automatically our machines tell this much ply with this much laminate pre-pressed is required. Once it is given, automatically machine takes it inside, cut it, generate a sticker, label that panel with that sticker with a barcode, so that the operator which is working on the next machine, he doesn't have to do anything, just scan it, process the panel. It becomes very easy for, any operator can work on that machine if he has knowledge of that machine. That's it. There doesn't need any technical knowledge of carpentry.
So I think this whole setup has AI written all over it. I think
Not AI as of now, but
Okay.
point here is we are trying to automate it to produce it in a seamless way, so that site errors reduces to 90-95%.
That makes a huge
And
difference.
another thing what client expect these days is when the work is happening, the house shouldn't be messy.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's
The floor should be safe. So how do we do that? When carpentry work has to happen, that becomes very difficult. So modular is the way. Another benefit what you get in a modular way compared to carpentry is, in any of the modular cabinet, it never touches the wall.
Oh, okay.
This must be surprising.
I had no idea about that.
Right. So what happens is, in a modular way, when a cabinetry is done, your back panel will be 15 mm inside from the wall. So when any dampness or anything develops, it never impacts your furniture. Okay. And ply is always both side laminated. So now any top of table or anything where we keep our cup for coffee or tea or all these glasses, it never develops scratches.
Got it. Okay.
Right? So laminate can handle all that impact. So a ply is never exposed to any dampness.
Right.
Okay,
right.
so at Interazzo, we don't use MDF, particle board, HDHMR. Everything is a high quality plywood, which comes with a very, very heavy density. In plywood also, you get brands. They are having economical grade of ply and a premium grade of ply.
Right.
Both are plywood. Both are BWP. But how do you differentiate? Based on the density of the plywood. If ply is much more denser, it can hold the screw for a longer period. Because density is there, once you screw it, that screw doesn't get loose.
Okay.
And it will go for a longer period. That's why the cost of, from the same brand, the cost of economical BWP and a premium BWP ply is double. Okay, that's where we focus on using a very premium quality materials in our modular furniture, so that the furniture life increases drastically.
So thanks for the deep dive on why choosing modular makes absolute sense. So I think Aditya will also agree, right? If you look at what Häfele is built as a brand, the first thing that comes to mind when you see Häfele is it is only part of most, or 90% of modular kitchens. So how has Häfele as a brand positioned, or how does it impact when more and more Indians choose to build modular kitchens?
Yes, no wonder the modular execution or setup enhances the performance and overall longevity of Häfele fittings. Taking cue from Himanshu's points, I was hearing two words: modular, and right materials.
Right.
So let me marry these big good pointers: right materials, modular setups, with how Häfele fittings are improvising the complete ecosystem, and how we are partnering and co-creating solutions with our esteemed partners like Interazzo. Let's see how. Let me talk about how. So the first pointer might be around, say, optimized compatibility and functionality. So Häfele fittings are designed and engineered in terms of overall performance,
Okay.
as per the modular execution. So when I'm saying fittings, just not fittings, but the appliances, surfaces, and lighting all together, they are kind of engineered in that direction. When executed in a modular fashion, these products are positioned, right, as per requirements
Right.
of spatial and functional logic. So this actually maximizes the efficiency and minimizes the challenges or impediments of execution. Now let me try to give you some examples. How do we really impact the overall execution? Himanshu was talking about pre-engineered boards, right? Easy installation at site to reduce the on-site errors. So there are joineries which help these particular panels properly pre-laminated and sent as a flatbed packing to the sites to really bring the pieces together.
Right.
We are talking about form and functionality, right?
Right.
So you have the best of form coming from the best of the player, and the functionality is kind of coming from Häfele. So we are kind of marrying form with functionality here and giving a seamless execution and experience
Right.
to our customers, delighting them beyond satisfaction. It's very important that we use the space to the maximum potential, and that's where the modular execution, because pre-planned. And I was very happy the way Himanshu was talking right from phase one, requirements gathering, to feasibility,
Yes.
checking to the machining process. Doesn't happen in carpentry.
Yeah.
You will have
I see.
carpenters coming to the homes, maybe sitting for months together, the owner is out, and the program goes on and on. Fortunately for COVID, post-COVID era, things have changed drastically, and the users, the homeowners, have got a real exposure of how things can be done, and that was a revolution, perhaps for even modular as an industry, right? So that is one important parameter of better space optimization through modular execution. The third one will be faster execution.
Absolutely.
As it's all pre-engineered, you go and send your flatbed packing furniture to the site. Chances of errors are totally removed because your drilling patterns are all set in the factory.
Right.
Very true.
So it's a proactive approach rather than a reactive approach.
Right.
So why I was trying to say proactive versus reactive, because when a carpenter works at your home, okay, the nail is a
Just
tidbit,
hit
2
it and
mm, 3 mm
fix
here and
it.
there, let me just fix it up with a hammer and get it
Very
over,
true.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas Himanshu is very much critical on, it has to be system 32 driven, the holes are exactly in the spot,
Right.
and the work gets executed flawlessly.
Very true.
And that's the beauty of a modular execution. Not to mention about the aesthetics and the durability of the modular setup. Definitely when you are pre-planning the whole process, your material are the best, which he was talking about, the right materials. Your execution, if done well, and because it mostly will be done well because of being pre-engineered, it's going to be again a different kind of a setup, right? Today, modular industry in India is getting also inspired by global trends,
Yeah.
Very true.
Very
right? Say the international exhibitions which happen in Cologne and which happens in Milan, that actually influences the
lot of people from India travel to those exhibitions these days.
True. That's really happening big time now, And that's where modular execution gives you a variety. I would say it's a permutation and combination of multiple materials, different finishes, different surface technology, different elements, different kind of hardware. And that's where Häfele, with its portfolio of 10,000 plus SKUs, with the length and breadth of it, comes into picture to our partners like Interazzo, where they can pick and choose, okay, this is the application, this is my customer, let me differentiate. Let me give him the right shade, let him give the right surface material, let him give the right hardware, which is going to be durable, because Häfele hardware, when they are executed in terms of bringing in the portfolio, they are tested for short life tests, they are tested for how long they will be surviving. So all these elements come together and give a Häfele gold standard, and that's where Häfele brand equity gets supported by equally strong product portfolio backed with a proper service setup. That is important. Not to mention service upgrades, modular setup. So today, if I have to take example for Himanshu, if there is a little change of a particular cabinet in a complete kitchen, Himanshu doesn't need to dismantle the complete kitchen. He will just send his guy. He will just dismantle that particular unit in that modular setup. He will access the hardware or the shutter, fascia, and do the changes. So you are not completely going with your hammer, dismantling the whole thing, and then rebuilding the things again. See the kind of time advantage, the time of, kind of design. In fact, people are also going for refurbishments. Let's change the color of the house with time, and players like Interazzo are going to change the overall ecosystem. And yes, we are there to be their strategic partners with the right set of hardware, because as I said, here there's a marriage between form and functionality. That's where we come into picture.
That's very true. Actually, in our manufacturing, when we drill, we have all the drawings of Häfele hardware, and all the drilling happens prior itself before going to the site. So that once it is going to the site, carpenter has to just tight the screw in the same hole. He doesn't have to drill it again. So that brings the perfection.
I mean, as a customer, I'm just overwhelmed by how many options are out there, which I thought are only when you're choosing an outfit. But turns out with fittings and form and all the other factors that come in, there are so many options today for you to actually make an informed decision on how your interiors should look like.
Just to give you an example, Swati, I'm sure the Indian women love sarees, right? Different colors, different hues, different regions have different specialities, right? So I used to keep on, going with my mom. She used to be buying sarees, and I could see there's a silk, and in silk you have 5 varieties. And then let me just kind of juxtapose this particular scenario to this particular ecosystem. Maybe in terms of surfaces which Himanshu is using from Häfele. So we have Terra as a in-house brand, and we have Deccan as an in-house brand.
Okay.
Terra itself has got more than 8 to 10 unique colors, right? And these colors are again influenced and inspired by global designs.
So Himanshu, so you have a lot more factors to fit into your entire pipeline and automation. There's a lot more work that Häfele has carved out for you to automate.
Yeah, so that's what, in our industry, we have to keep evolving.
So Himanshu, we heard about how your manufacturing unit works and all the aspects of it, which were quite surprising to know so much happens in the background before a creation comes to life. But how does it benefit customers versus outsourcing? Like for you, when you're doing everything under one roof versus partnering with another outsider to get things done, what is the benefit there?
Right, Swati, this is very much valid question, but this varies from industry to industry.
Right.
Let's consider an example of phone industry. In phone manufacturing, one of the leading phone brand, they don't manufacture by themselves. They get it done from third-party companies. Why do they do that, right? They do it because they think that manufacturing is just a cost. They spend money on building a brand, doing more showrooms, okay? But they don't spend money on manufacturing. But for us, why they do that is because for them, like if one phone, they pass the testing of it, they have to just develop million and billion copies of it. But in our manufacturing, what happens, every house is different. Absolutely. Even if I am doing an entire tower of same size, still every customer taste is different. Every customer cabinetry size will be different, color will be different. Okay, so I have to manufacture each and everything in a custom way. But for a third party, because their name is not on the front face, right? It's our name which is on the front face. Absolutely. They might not agree to do that in a better way, or let's say if they're doing mistakes also, they might not improve that in their next manufacturing. Okay, so when we manufacture, we know what mistake we have done in our manufacturing. In the next project, we will correct it. And this betterment continues project on project. And there is no ending to this.
Yeah. So you're not at the mercy of a third party to
Correct.
decide on your delivery to the customer.
Correct.
Like you said, the customer doesn't know who is, creating errors in the backdrop. So it makes
Correct.
more sense to have everything in-house.
Because it is customized manufacturing.
Exactly.
It would have been, let's say, if I have to just replicate 1,000 flats in the same way, I can outsource it to someone. I will just take first product from him and I'll say, this is all good or these changes are required. Once that is passed, he can manufacture 1,000 copies of it. But when we are doing it, it is all customized, so we have to take care every bit of it.
Got it. Makes sense.
I think just to add on to this point, and very valid point, so when you get it done by a third party, the measurements at the site might go haywire. And in that overall, state of way the things are getting done, even the hardware that is specified goes in a wrong direction. So, for example, there was a direction that maybe, the measurement of site was 500 draw systems, but the third party got it developed as per 550 because he has not done the proper due diligence at the site. The payoff is to be done by Interazzo, and the overall whole blame game, loss of reference, loss of trust comes into picture.
It ruins the whole experience.
Yes. So for the customer, who is the front face? It's not Häfele, it's Interazzo.
Right.
But again, the brunt of this overall sequence is down the value chain. Its impacts. It's a mess out there. Right. So having the own manufacturing really helps a lot because you are doing a due diligence at every step. That really impacts.
You can build it actually. It's not done in 1 day or 2 day or 1 year or 2 years.
And there's continuous improvisation.
It's a continuous improvement which takes years and years to become a good manufacturer.
Okay. So, Himanshu, I think anybody watching this will relate to it. There was a time when, when you buy a new home and you're getting a loan or an EMI, and a very small percentage was considered as interiors. So there was a time when, you would get a bank loan saying interiors are included. I think that time has passed. Interiors add to a large piece of your budget without knowing where it started, where in the heck. It's a very common question that you might face. Why are you so expensive?
Okay, I understand, but we are not at all expensive. We try to give right quotation with the right requirement needs what customer has in a very detailed format. What if I give you a lesser quotation and you sign up with us and then we increment it 3-fold, 4-fold? Does it look good? Or we are giving you at the first time right quotation and keeping our per square feet price logged for 1 year. Let's say even if my partners like Häfele, they increment their prices, but I don't increment to my customers. Okay. I bear all that. Once the customer has signed up with us by paying 5%, we log that price for 1 year. My per square feet will be logged only if your dimension increases of the wardrobe or a kitchen sizes changes or you introduce some tall unit or pantry unit. Then all those additions will be added. Let's say while doing a quotation, you have just asked, give me a wardrobe in a bedroom. But while designing, you have asked give me a wardrobe along with the bed, along with the wall decor, along with the study table and a dressing. Obviously, where I was finishing that bedroom in 2 lakh rupees, now it has to be finished in 6 lakh rupees. Or 5 lakh rupees, right? So that requirements, if customer give us in a very detailed way, in a crystal clear way, we will give you the most clear quotation in the entire industry. And after that, you will understand why we are expensive.
Okay. So how much does it matter as to, you have all the choices, right? You have a whole set of products that you can choose from to optimize your price.
Very true.
How do you take the call as to, I wouldn't say cut corners, but it's very difficult to stick with the quality right from, the beginning till the end. So how do you stitch that into your cost?
So we don't believe in cutting corners. The quality is our first priority. We believe do less, do better.
Right.
Okay. So for example, let's say terms of Häfele. right? Häfele has, in terms of hinges itself, Häfele has a product starting from a very lower range to a very premium range. The premium hinges, Häfele SS304 anti-rust hinges. Why we require anti-rust hinges? Because in Bangalore, in most of the communities, you get only hard water.
Right.
Okay, there is no
Very
supply.
true.
There is no supply of soft water. Now, when you use those hinges in your vanities, in your bathrooms, right, there is like very high chances that hinges will get rust. We have experienced that. Okay, whatever we have learned in these 10 years, this all we have learned from our experience.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, when you're spending that much, you want to have it.
Now difference per set, you can say a difference of 300 rupees. How many sets of soft closings you will use in an entire house? Let's say 100. So difference of 30,000 rupees. Why you want to cut corners just for 30,000 rupees?
Right.
Does it make sense? You have spent crore in the properties.
Right.
You are spending lakhs in interiors and still doing these cut corners.
Right.
Just to give a lower quotation. We don't believe in that. We want to use a right product for that right particular job or performance. We cannot negotiate on that. We might decline a project. We will do one project less, but we will do it in the right way. That's the intention. Now, how to reduce the cost for the customer? For example, a bed wall decor. Bed wall decor can be done in multiple ways, right? Most economical way is doing a wall trims or a wallpaper. Most expensive way is doing some, like mural art in stone, right? Do it in a sandstone, do it in some Italian marbles or something. So those will be the expensive ones. So there is an alternate available, right? It's not like we have to go for very high end.
Or
You'll guide the customer.
correct.
The alternatives based upon.
Correct. So now, for an example, we have a beds which we make, right? Cots. So if someone need a queen size cot, we have cot available where they can manually lift it, or if they don't want, if they have elderly people at home, they can operate it through remote.
So there are multiple ways to reduce on the cost or to increase on the cost. But from a customer perspective, he will just think like I'm just getting a cot. But he has to understand what value addition we are doing on top of it. So interior is not just like do wardrobe and kitchen and move in the house. It's a style statement. They also want to, show what they have done. And like all the apartments in a community or all the villas look same. What makes it different is the interior. Right? That's how we can say, oh, that house is wow. But it is the same mortar, same bricks, everything is same. What made it different? The interiors.
Right. It's also, I think, how much you want to personalize it to your requirement.
Very true.
For example, I may be open to spending more on making a really good kitchen because that's where I enjoy spending time the most. But I'm okay to have the basic requirements in a bedroom and focus more on the living areas where you have more people coming in. So I think
So we are 100% comfortable with that. We will not push customers that you spend equally in every part of the house.
Right.
So
So is there a number that you would say, okay, this is the right value you should really spend when you are planning? See, you can always keep going overboard
very true.
or you can keep cutting corners. But is there a sweet spot which you can say, okay, this is the right maths? This is the, if this is how your house is, this is how much you should probably spend on interiors.
Yes, so as per my understanding and as per my experience, we have delivered around 3,000 plus houses till to date. So as per my experience is 7 to 20% of the present market value of that property. Okay, I'll elaborate it a bit actually. For a customer who is spending 7% or 15 or 20%, our quality doesn't differ.
Right.
Same quality of ply, same quality of hardware. That is our standard. Okay, that makes us, different from our competitors as well. So then how the pricing differs, both of them? That is the very common question, right? So for 7% customer, we will be giving, like wardrobes, kitchens, TV unit and a crockery unit. That's it. Like a minimal interiors for him to move into the house. But for our customer who's spending 15%, we will be giving them, let's say, wardrobes, kitchens, but kitchen with the acrylic finish, with the much premium appliances, right, and much premium countertop, but his functionality is not getting affected, right? So like we are giving them more items.
Yes.
The scope of work is increasing so that he don't have to buy anything from outside to live in the house. Now for a guy who is spending 20% we consider a luxury interior.
For a customer who is spending 20%.
Correct. Right? So that's a luxury part of it. In that we will be giving them a kitchen with a unbreakable lacquered glass finish with the most premium Häfele Terra stones, okay, and very premium appliances again, and with more functionality of the hardwares, Okay, for like corner solutions and some lift up systems, some remote based lift up systems also we have. So those are the value additions which we do people who spend on luxury.
So basically, you are free to spend between 7 to 20%, but it depends on what exactly
So
you
it's
want.
more like one size fits all is not the philosophy.
Is not the philosophy.
So it all
yes.
depends. I mean, very nicely put in terms of example, 7, 15, 20%. And that's where the drawing board starts. So what we do together, Häfele and Interazzo, given the kind of length and breadth of portfolio we have products on different price spectrums.
Okay.
In every category. So even for say surfaces, we have different price spectrums for fittings. Let's take example of corner solutions, which Himanshu was talking about. We have state-of-art force cycle range, which is uber premium, opulent range for ladder units, tall units. Then we also have our own house assortment if you want to go for a premium range, right of thing. And we also have affordable luxury, which is more like suitable for a affordable luxury kind of a kitchen, a 7% kind of a thing. So we play in all the gears. It's all about the drawing board. It's not that we are compromising on cutting corners on quality. Coming from Interazzo and coming from Häfele, it means that it's like one standard, a gold standard that gets followed upon.
Right.
And we do not, only thing which goes, maybe we can differ some features, but not on the quality or MOC or in terms of warranty that we are offering.
So the
and that's where,
remains the same.
Yeah, and that's where the partnership keeps on working. We have joint sessions, co-creation sessions, where we talk about what more we can do to delight our customers. And that's where differentiation comes in. For example, smart saving furniture, right? We talked about the beds. So we talked about Aladino and Pratik and Qubit beds, fittings which he really uses in his applications. And this is where we keep on, calibrating on how we can give the right value without compromising on any parameters of design or material of construction. That really helps us together. And that's where I think the growth lies. It's more about working together, hand in hand, and figuring out the next steps for our customers.
Fantastic. So, building on the same, right? Himanshu, how did this collaboration begin in the first place?
So this collaboration has started from 2017 onwards, right? So we grew slowly, and that's where this collaboration has started. They have a OEM team, right? We started with them, and that's where we are building it together.
Okay.
So basically, yes, Himanshu is right. This division within Häfele is formed to cater to the needs and requirements of our OEM partner having a manufacturing setup. It's very, very different and has a great contrast to a normal trader or retailer sitting in the market. If you notice, what really happens is the hardware goes and sits on the shelf, and that from the shelf, a contractor or carpenter and customer goes and pick up like a laundry list of items required for their job.
Right. So Himanshu and Aditya, we've heard so much about all the technicalities of interiors, fittings, and everything that we need to know. A lot is to do with instinct. So I'm going to ask you a set of rapid fire questions to understand how you are going to respond to these.
Okay.
Aditya,
Okay.
let's start with you. Your first question, hardware or appliances, what excites you more today?
Hardware, any day.
Many people say Häfele is just about being premium in their branding. Do you think this brand would survive without its European tag?
Yes, of course.
What's the biggest mistake brands make while trying to scale in India?
Overcome it.
Okay.
Under-deliver.
I didn't say that.
If Häfele couldn't use its German heritage in branding tomorrow, what would it differentiate in the Indian market?
Innovative solutions, local presence.
One international market you admire for design innovation?
Milan, Italy.
Okay. The biggest myth that people have about Häfele?
Expensive.
Okay. Is it the toughest competitor that Häfele faces in India today?
No competition.
So Himanshu, you're ready.
Always.
One word that clients use the most to describe Interazzo?
Quality oriented.
Okay. Which was your proudest moment at Interazzo?
When we shifted from a 5,000 to 55,000 square feet factory,
Okay. If you weren't building Interazzo, what business would you be in?
I would have built some software company since I was a
Okay.
developer.
In Indian kitchens, quartz or granite?
Quartz, not only on slab, on dado as well.
Okay. Who is your biggest inspiration?
So basically, Val Cucine and Pogon Pol.
Okay.
So how they have built their business of kitchens in last 80 years and serving 160 plus countries.
Okay. For social media, flashy 3D renders or real images?
We at Interazzo never believe in 3D renders. If you see our website, our Insta, our YouTube, everything is shot at site. We say like, what we have built, we want to show that. Not only showing high quality 3D renders and grab the customers.
The one Häfele product that you recommend to every client?
Häfele sliding, F-line 4250C.
In one line, what is your dream for Interazzo in the next 5 years?
500 plus employees.
Okay. So we finally come to an end of a fantastic session which was so informative and insightful both from a design perspective and an interiors perspective. Thanks a lot for the time, and it is fantastic to see how both Interazzo and Häfele have helped each other build brands and provide even better customer experiences. Don't forget to subscribe and share this episode with someone who's designing a new home so that their decisions will become a little easier and you're going to get some fantastic advice from experts in the hardware and applications and also the interior design side. Do share your comments here if you'd like to know more about these ideas. Thank you for watching this podcast.
Thank you, Swati, for having us here.
Thanks, Himanshu. Thank you,
Thank you,
Aditya.
Swati. Thank you all.